Hi guys, it's Misty here. Welcome to another card video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making this super easy watercolor card using distress inks. And I'm going to start off by taping down some Strathmore Ready Cut watercolor paper. And I'm going to use frog tape to tape it down, but you got to get the delicate surface frog tape. It comes off really nicely. It doesn't rip the paper. So I'm using Thank You Wishes by Mama Elephant. And I'm going to use a couple different size paintbrushes here. I was going to use the 6 round, but I decided to go with the 10 round and the 12 bright. I guess the bright is very similar to the flat. Not really much different there, but those are the two paintbrushes I'm using. So I'm just going to lay down my colors. I'm going to add a little bit of water to those. And then the only thing I use the 12 bright paintbrush for is to add a layer of water. So I'm just going to add a layer of water. And really quick, before I forget, I finally have a blog now. In my last video, I think I said I wasn't quite sure what I was doing with that, but I have one. I'm putting all my efforts into it, so if you want some more details on this card, please check out my website. I'll leave the link in the description below. So, alright, so yes, I'm using a pizza peel that I taped my paper down to. It's all I had. It works. It actually works pretty good, because if I want the paint to run down like I have here, I just prop up the handle, and if I don't want the paint to run down, then I'll just lay it flat. So it works great. It's all I had, so that's what I use. So I went a couple different directions in this card. I wasn't quite sure. I knew I wanted 3 colors, but I didn't know if I wanted the colors to kind of be just straight across colors, or if I wanted them to kind of blend and mix a little bit. So at one point you'll see me just doing straight across lines, and then another point you'll see me kind of tapping my paintbrush on to give it, I think it gives it more like a look of texture. So anyway, you'll kind of see me go a couple different directions in this video, but I don't plan these videos out or these cards out. I just kind of sit down, turn on the camera, and just go and see what happens. I know I should probably plan them out better. It'd probably take me half as long, and these videos would be shorter, but maybe one of these days I'll do that. So anyway, and then I think I do a layer of color like 5 times. I color it, I dry it, color it, dry it, until I get the look that I want. But the end result was pretty cool. I liked it. So here is my second layer of color. And I had originally planned on cutting out most of this process just because it's repetitive, it's the same thing over and over, but I decided to leave it so you can see how it gets to the end result. It just, I don't know, it turned out really, really cool. So I decided to leave all this in here so you can see what I did to get to that point. So I'm going to turn on some music, and I will check back in a little bit when I have something else to say. So I hope you enjoy. I used Wonky Stitched Rectangle by My Favorite Things to cut the background. And now I'm just going to use my mini Misty to stamp the sentiment. And before I stamped it, I'm going to go ahead and line it up here just so it's ready. But then I decided to add some gold splatters to the background before I do the sentiment. I've seen Christina Warner do this technique with the splatters because I love splatters, but I don't love how it goes everywhere. I mean, it, it reaches places you just couldn't believe it could reach. But so I heard her say that this had a little bit more control, and I'm very delicate with it. I'm not flicking too hard because I just don't want it to go everywhere. But it turned out really good, and maybe next time I'll, be a little more aggressive with it, but this time I was pretty gentle with it. All right, so I used the Gonzai Tombi gold for the splatter, and then I just added some water drops, which didn't really seem to make a difference since the background is so, I don't know, marbly looking or whatever that's called. Now I'm just using the anti-static powder because I know from experience that if your background isn't completely dried, especially when you do ink blending with distress inks, if it's not completely dried, as soon as you put that embossing powder on, it sticks everywhere. So I made sure that the paper was nice and dry, and then I used the anti-static powder to put over it. And now I'm just stamping it with the Versamark. And I'm stamping it twice here because the watercolor paper is textured, and then with hitting it so many times with the heat tool, the paper was a little bit warped, so I just stamped it twice. That's why I love the Misty. And then I'm going to add some gold embossing powder from Simon Says Stamp. And I don't have a container for this yet, so I just used a piece of paper to catch all the extra. But it turned out really cool with the gold splatters and then the gold embossing powder for the sentiment. I just think it turned out really, really pretty. I'm just going to shovel back in what I didn't use, and then I will heat it up with my heat gun. I wish I would have purchased the rose gold that Simon Says Stamp has, but I didn't, and now I'm seeing it places and I wish I would have purchased it, but I'll have to add it to my next order. Look how pretty that gold looks though. I think it just turned out really, really nice against this background. And with the largest of the wonky stitched rectangle, it's 4 by 5 1/4. So I originally was going to just have a white border or a black border around the whole watercolor background, but it just didn't look right. It seemed like it was competing with the colors here, and I just didn't like it. I wanted the colors to, be the main focal point here. Well, the sentiment, but anyway, so I just cut my card base down to 4 by 5 1/4. And to stick with the gold theme, I added some gold sequins. I'll have links to all the products I used in the description below. And if you want to see what I did to the inside of the card, please take a look at my blog. Again, I will put a link in the description below. Alright, once I add my sequins, my card is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the like button, and if you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Here's one final shot of how this card turned out. Below you will see 2 additional videos. If you click on the image, it'll take you directly to that video, so I hope you will check both of them out. Thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!